today about books. The 5 books that I'm going to share that I've already read and how was my review. And based on my reviews, you can go and buy it or read it in some other form like PDF or ebooks. And the other 5 books will be like what I'm currently reading and which I will be taking up reading in this year. So I have a goal of reaching 12 books this year, so maybe I will and maybe I will not. I'm not getting into it, so let's get into it. The first book that I'm going to recommend you reading and I've already read is, you already heard it many times. All the book reviews have at least Atomic Habit. This is a very common book, and I am going to say just one thing, is that you have to be really patient while getting through this book because it's a big book, and if you are not a very good reader, like you are just getting into it, and it's a self-help genre book, so if you're getting into it and you come from a fiction background of reading books, I would suggest you to just give it 1 month. Maybe it's a slow, like it's a pretty slow book, but it has some facts and figures that you can refer to, and it doesn't talk on like you have to wake up in the morning and do all the routines, that's how your life is gonna change. No, it's actually has evidences and why you should do it, and what if you're not doing it, what will happen to you. And it also talks about a lot about the writer of this book, James Clear, and it's a fantastic book. The book is like Mark Manson, the subtle art writer, has already recommended you reading this book, so must give it a try about this book. And I'm gonna post all the links of these books from Amazon down in my description box, so please do have a look. It's really talks about, like, I'm not going to give you any more details, just what is given in the back. I'm just gonna say, like, the quote that I really love is that 1 is better than 0. So even if you do 1 task a day, it doesn't have to be 100, it just have to be 1. It's better than 0 at least. Like, we have already all faced this issue, like, I'm wanting to do anything today. Maybe I'll just skip today. Maybe skip this workout, skip the meal, skip the college, skip the study, like skip. But if you at least do 1 class, do 5 minutes of breathing exercise, 5 minutes of meditation, not a 20 minutes meditation. No one wants that. 5 minutes at least. When you feel good, when you feel motivated to do a meditation of 20 minutes, you will do it. But at least give it a try for 5 minutes. Maybe not a 15 or 30 minutes of workout, maybe a 10 minutes workout. Just do it so that you can add something. Like, see, nothing is better. Like, something is better than nothing. So the next book that I have already read, and I'm gonna just give you some reviews about it. So this is a book by Jhumpa Lahiri, the interpreter of melodies. So I was not, at the very beginning, I was not into fiction. I always liked reading self-help. I don't know why, because maybe I was very much wanting to improve myself, and these books I thought it's a loss of time maybe. For the issue with me for fiction is that I lost track. If I shut this book today and the 2 to 3 days after I pick it up, I just lost track of all the stories. So I was never a fiction person, but slowly I was, and I'm gonna share with you. But from like, this is a short story book. It really has wait a minute, let me check. Okay, I think it has 9 stories. So it has 9 stories, and this is one of the writers that I am going to tell you about to read, because she stays in abroad, but she is from a Bengali background, and she mostly writes stories that are based on Bengal. So if you want to know the early Bengals, how she used to see that, and she's like writing from a 3rd person perspective. There are characters, different stories has different characters, and every story has a beautiful, like a subtle ending. That's what it specifies. I do think so. And other books I saw them, or I have heard of a recommendation from other people who I am friends with, but I have not read Jhumpa Lahiri other than this. But I surely will read. So this is a short story book, very light read. You can combine with anything, short stories are not very short, but yeah, let's keep it medium range, average short, and it's a good read, like a light bus book kind of a thing. So the third book that is coming on is Steve Jobs. Yeah, I really loved it. It was my birthday gift for like maybe 20th birthday. So it's a biography, obviously, of Steve Jobs, the man who created, like, we are using laptops, computers, phones. It won't be possible without this man. Oh my God, I really loved him. I didn't know about much of it, but I've heard in podcasts and stuff that he was very toxic in traits, has a very toxic and like competition trait in him. But after reading this book, I surely know I don't have any sort of negativity towards certain characteristics of people, because you can have a different characteristics than me, and it can be toxic. You know it's toxic, but you cannot deal with it. But you kind of have the advantage of it with yourself, and I kind of had the disadvantage of it with myself. So, and it also talks about like how he went through those processes and how he knew those but couldn't change it. That's why he suffered. And then also, like, after, like, in his last stage, he knew what was the problem and knew how to solve it. But yeah, and it's a very, like, the ending is very sad. I almost cried. I was reading this ending on the train and I almost cried on the train, so you can see. And I'm not a very light crier. You have to give me stuffs to cry. It's not like I can cry at a little bit of emotional thing, no. And it's a very inspiring story. Every biography is an inspiring story. I don't need to tell that, but yeah, this is a very inspiring story throughout and every step of the way. And you can get this book. I have also gone to Starmark in South City, and I've also searched about more detailed version of this book. This is a very much not a very, like, same writer, but I have saw a very detailed version of the books. Many photographs are also there, like Steve Jobs having his first apartment with none of the furnitures are there, because he was a perfectionist and he wanted to really see every bit of it, what he has, he will be using and why he will be using. He has a very like a purpose driven kind of a thing, like, I'm going to wear maybe a jeans. Why do I have to wear a jeans and not a pant, and not why the jeans has to be made of that material, like this kind of a person. So he almost had no furniture because he couldn't see the purpose of every one of it. So you can get a very detailed version of this biography with a lot of photos, lot of sections which are not covered in this book. But yeah, this was a gift. So you will I will give you the link of this, like, biography of a detailed version of the book down in the description box below. You'll be, like, you can see it there, and it's a must read for anybody who is inspired by technologies, maybe biographies also, or maybe just the person. For me, the person is enough. So coming on to the third book, and I have bought this and I'm very proud of my choices. The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Amazing. Like, I have never read a novel before this in English, like, just to write, like, I want to read it. I have read for school stuffs and all those, but I have never read a novel of fiction, because I've told you of Jhumpa Lahiri's short stories. This was first fiction that I've completed. I was never into fiction. This book brought me into fiction, and this is a very heavy book. Like, you cannot switch it up. It wasn't possible for me to switch it up, and I am thinking of collecting whole Khaled Hosseini series, like the Splendid Sun, Mountain Code, and there's one more, I guess, I'm just forgetting, whatever. Okay, The Kite Runner, must read for anybody who loves fiction. Oh my God, this book, I cried in the last 2 to 3 chapters, like my parents used to come in the room and say, what has happened to you? I'm just like, I'm reading this book, that's it. And I have been so intrigued with the Taliban and the Afghanistan, Pakistan, everything, all those, after reading this book, that I watched all the movies in Amazon Prime related to the Taliban war. that has been very much profound, that has have a profound effect on me. And this writer, oh my god, it will keep you chained to this book. There are some sections that are very disturbing in nature. If you are like me, like I cannot tolerate violence that much, so that's why I don't really watch some of the violence movie. But after this, it was quite disturbing, but after this I kind of watched all those because I had to know. And it has some of the sections, but amazing, like every bit of it is amazing. You can't live it, so must read for anybody. You're gonna love fiction after this. So badass. This is a book by Jen Sincero. Oh my god, this is like a next Mark Manson book. She is just an amazing writer, and she just includes some of the exercises, some of the value, like some of the references of other books that are amazing in nature. Amazing. I read it in lockdown maybe, and I took short notes. See, I have took short notes about things, being grateful and all those stuffs, and I've underlined it like crazy. I was crazy at that point of time. I just underlined it, highlighted whatever. I used to read with a pen, so I just don't skip it. And it's like you can read it over and over again, like maybe 2 to 3 after 2 to 3 years you can read it again. So it's a great self-help book if you just want, like, it's apart from the genre. I've never seen people recommending You Are a Badass. Maybe few people, I don't know about those. And it's about uplifting yourself, thinking before doing it. Like, you want to be a musician, you have to first see yourself in the stage playing to thousands of people, and many examples are there which are true life examples. This book, you have to read it so that you don't miss out on those jewels that is inside in this book. So these 5 books I have already read, and I've shared the reviews of those books. So the currently reading 5 books I am reading. Yes, everyone has read it. I am a bit late with this book, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkinson Reid. I have never read anything by this author, but I've come to know about the what is the name of those book? Wait a minute, Daisy Jones and the Six. I have like in the reviews they're given. I will surely read up on those. I missed stops on bus because I was reading this book because I was so intrigued. Oh my god, I have way past the half. Yeah, I'm just here on the page 267. It is also a novel, and it is about, yeah, it's just a description of the book, gives you the name of the book, gives you what is inside. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. It's a novel, and it's about Evelyn Hugo and his 7th husband, and a person interviewing Evelyn Hugo after, like, Evelyn Hugo has had her career, and then after that a person came to interview her, and the story after that pretty much is included. So I'm not going to share very much, but must read after. Thing that I have started this, like 1 chapter maybe is done one day. It has a movie about it, and I am just postponing to watch the movie because I want to finish this first. It's also, I guess it's also a novel. I don't know about this, but I've just started reading first 1 chapter maybe. Yeah, 1 chapter. Annie Hathaway stars in this movie. So it's by David Nicholas, and it's like a romance love genre, and I don't know about it much, but from seeing the trailer of the movie, I think I would be drawn to it. I don't know, because I've never really get into a love kind of fiction, because the short stories of Jhumpa Lahiri was some stories were of love, but it's a kind of a novel, so I don't know. I will surely start because I got this because of the fancy cover, and I know about the movie, that's why. And I've got this with other of my friends in a charity event. Okay, Walking in Clouds. This is one of the books that I was also gifted by one of my close ones, Kavita Yaga Bukhana. I think I'm spelling it correct, pronouncing it correct. Is a writer, and it's it's a travelogue maybe. Yeah, I think it's a travelogue, and you can find the ebook also. I'm going to share the description. I think it's about going to the Mount Everest. Maybe no, sorry, a journey to Mount Kailash and Lake Manasarova. So it's about a travel. Maybe I have read few pages. It's about some people going for a trek, and their cultures, their backgrounds, what are they seeing. And I do love travelogues, because I think I do love travelogues because this is going to be the first one, because how they're seeing things is going to be different from you. How you see one picture is going to be different from how I see the same picture. So that's the perspective shifts. It blows my mind off. So I'm going to read this book. I'm juggling these two books. I don't know which I'm going to pick after finishing. I have bought this They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This is a very popular book again on social media. I have seen it, that's why I bought it. And it's it's a hypothetical situation where both of them die, and I have read 1 or 2 pages, like 2 to 3 pages maybe of it, and it's quite nice. It's a smooth read book, and it's also, I think it's a light read, and it gives you a certain perspective, because it's a hypothetical situation that they are both gonna die, but what if you will die? You will die one day, it's certain, but what are the feelings that people go through, and how they see death. It's kind of a frightening yet liberating feeling, and I'm really excited to read this, but it's a very long, and I'm just gonna, maybe I will shift to this, but I don't know. Yeah, let me see it. So They Both Die at the End. I'm gonna read it, and this is Khushwant Singh Train to Pakistan. It's about I'm gonna read it because it's about the partition of India and Pakistan, and about those times, and the stories are built on those times. So it's gonna be familiar. The culture and everything is gonna be familiar to me. So I'm gonna read it maybe. And these are the few books that I am going to read in this year, which I'm really half completed. 7 Husbands. This is a must read. So this is the book that these are the books that I'm going to read. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, and if you are a book reader, in the comments, please give me some of the books that you love reading, and I will surely catch up on those readings, and I will maybe make a review out of those. So bye guys, and see you on the next video.